welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 78, your weekly dose, or your bi-weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. I'm of course SIVIP, with me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one little, as we jump into our fresh series, exclamation mark B in the chat. If you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves, the bracket is live, the bracket is a little bit smaller here this week, but the quality is there. We'll be getting into the bracket, don't you worry. Until then, we're jumping into our first best of 3, and this morning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is Prome. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the green Protoss player. It is Triple. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3 round of 16 match. Hold on. I'll get the names working. Hold on. Shit. Not to be confused with Triple H, which is a different player. Not to be confused. But yes, Triple, he's a regular when it comes to these online weekly tournaments. Likewise, so is Prome. Prome is a little bit more accomplished, and I will say that Prome typically does dedicate a little more time into StarCraft Evolution, more so than SC2. So we'll see how Prome does compare. We'll see if Triple can keep up with someone of the caliber of Prome. For the time being, we have 2 get opener, Triple, likewise 2 get opener out of Prome as well. So far, so good. Question becomes, how hard do we commit, and do we go for any shenanigans, or do we just settle into a standard game instead? Also, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout to all those in the chat, a big shout to Cosmos. Fala galera, Cosmos. Obrigado, obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. Cosmos, of course, is the Brazilian caster out there for StarCraft 2. I say the caster, there's other casters, of course, as well, like Rocklets, like Gustavo as well, Vizintin, who doesn't cast anymore, but still pops in every now and then. But again, he's kind of the caster and was streaming earlier, so thank you so much for the raid. We do appreciate it. Again, welcome to a Korean tournament, less so Brazilian, and also really exciting to see that the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit has begun once again. I saw that Amantis was last week. I think the host Master Tournament is on the horizon. There's a LATAM tournament around the corner as well. There's a lot of Latino American StarCraft that's coming at us, and of course, we'll be there to cast it in English as best we can. Especially post EWC, we're taking things a little bit slower, we're taking things a little bit easier, just because it was a really intense week, and there's a lot of catching up to do in regards to editing VODs and scheduling VODs, and catching up on sleep as well. For now, one base all in. Do you see what I see? I see 2 gates, a 3rd gateway, a Twilight Council, and soon to be, a proxy setup. Yep, there it is. Proxy pylon across the map, 1 base all in at a Prime. Meanwhile, Tripper, he is none the wiser. He's moving out with his hallucination. He did go for a standard opener. Ooh, double gate opener into double sentry to expand. Very greedy here, very greedy, very defensive in a sense, but alas, he's going to be lacking information. Does scout, does confirm there's no expansion. I realize how much danger he's in. The shield battery's on the way, but already taking a lot of hits. Yeah, we need more shield batteries. Boys are being pulled. Triple getting desperate here. He's getting desperate. Shield batteries are under fire, and we can focus the first one down. Oh, okay, the boys are tanking some shots. Boys are tanking. Oh, force fields do not lock down the Stalker. Stalker does survive. So far, we're baiting out a couple of force fields. Second shield batteries finishing up. Okay, so far so good. Triple, he is holding, he's surviving, but he needs more shield batteries because you know what's coming his way. 4 gate. It's going to be a 1 base 4 gate blink all in out of Prome. And we need a robo. I mean, thankfully there's a robo. Okay, mortal production's underway. There we go. 3rd shield battery, 2nd pylon as well. I do appreciate the setup here. And it comes down to the force fields. Again, he has to buy enough time for his immortals. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Triple. Oh, that's a lot of stalkers. It's a lot of stalkers. Takes out the 1st sentry, gets 1. And you're running out of shield batteries. Ooh, 1, 2 stalkers go down. Nice force fields. Getting up to 10 stalkers. Oh, triggers the shields. We got 6 stalkers behind this. I mean, I feel like Triple's held, to be honest. Even with Blink, sure, he can dive on the immortal, but there's so much firepower here now. Takes down a stalker. Nice control. Does pull back. But again, the 2nd immortal's on the way. And if Brome doesn't end this soon, if he doesn't break this soon, then it's going to be over. Here you go, he dives in, he won, he's two shots the Immortal, but another Immortal's about to pop out. And again, there's still so many Stalkers here. Yeah, you can see Brome, he doesn't have enough. He just does not have enough. The Immortal has arrived. There's 4 shield batteries. Again, there's just too many shield batteries to break through. No with pure Blink Stalker. Now, the added value or the added benefit of Blink Stalker is the mobility, and something that we could have done instead of trying to just headbutt our way through here the front lines is get a sentry, get a hallucination, and blink into the main. Blink into the main base and force a fight out of range of all these shield batteries and force the army out of position as well. That would have been the go-to here, but because this setup is too fortified, at this point it is too heavily fortified. He's going for he's one-shotting Stalkers. Okay, never mind. He might still pull this off. With 12 Stalkers, he can one-shot. The Immortals are still going to be an issue, though. There's still 2 Immortals. Oof. Takes out another Stalker. Okay. You're making me believe. Oof. As he does tank 2 volleys. Yeah, the shots that weren't quite lined up. Shields are triggered on both Immortals, which means now we could try to dive in. Now the Stalker count is low enough where a blink on forward might be enough, but now there's 3 Immortals. There's 3. Dives in, he can 2-shot, he gets 1 Immortal, he gets 1, he takes 3 volleys to get the other. Oof. Yeah, brutal losses. So far 17 Stalkers have already gone down. We're down to 10. More Stalkers warping in. And Triple, yeah, he's held. And Triple, he gets held at this point. GG gets called. Triple, he will hold. He will survive. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Triple does take a lead in the series. They get a very intense game number 1. As you mentioned, again, the added value here of going into a blink-based all-in is your mobility, is your ability to bypass the main army, bypass the main defensive setup at the natural, and head into said main base instead. Otherwise, of course, as we were seeing, the goal there is to overwhelm, is to preserve your Stalkers over time, overwhelm, and try to break through. That would have still been possible if Prime was a little bit better at preserving his units and preserving his army. If you recall, we pointed out that over the course of that game, 17 Stalkers had been killed, had gone down. It took him a long time to get up to 12 Stalkers. It took him a long time to get up to that one-shot range. If he had been able to preserve those Stalkers a little bit better, to build up that Stalker count, to have that DPS, and to be able to go for that, to dive earlier, maybe a different story there, but regardless, GG. GG well played. Shout out to Triple for, again, responding well, for defending, for holding on, and with that, we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Triple can, I would say, cause the upset, and we'll see if Prime can calm things down and potentially go into a more standard game instead. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the pink Protoss player, for among us the 2 people. It is Prime. Sleep is important. Sleep is pretty important. Sporting. In the bottom right hand corner, we have the green Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is a Triple. We go. As again, Triple, he was able to survive the hello. He was able to survive the 4-gate blink all in, but here we're going for something a little bit different. We are proxying the gateway, by the way. That is the first pylon, not even the second. Typically, a standard one-base all-in is to proxy the second pylon, sometimes even the third pylon for a delayed all-in. Here, straight up, everything is being proxied. We're going for the flower. Do you see what I see? No gases. No gases back at home. So we're going full coconut and going up to 4 gates. Just a 4-gate all-in. 4-gate one-base all-in. Pure charge. Pure zealots. Oh, why did I say charge? Pure zealots. Charge less. Slow lots. Let's go. We're going mad zealot. I say that gas is now on the way back at home, so we can start working towards a cyber core. But until then, purely zealots are going to be available here for Prime. Purely those zealots. It's got to be a short series. Probe Scout does confirm nothing here on top of the ramp, and also confirms that the gateway is not at home. The gateway is not at home. There we go. Does respond with the first zealot with a second pylon. Does fully wall up. Does fully wall off. Yeah, I'm loving the forge here. Again, because Prime has a massive production advantage, how do you make up for that? So you cannot catch up in production. Cannons. Forge with defensive cannons will be ideal. So I do love the response, but is it going to be in time? True. Is it too late? Because here come the Zealots, and that first Zealot is going to be overwhelmed. There's no escaping this. Yeah, the shield battery is too late. We needed the earlier shield battery to survive. And we need those cannons, but the first pylon is going to go down. Yeah, boys are being pulled. They have to be to help keep this powered. Oh, that's Narcissus pylon, at least keeping that cannon alive. Yeah, second pylon's on the way, shield battery as well. Gateways are depowered, that cannon's depowered as well. It's out of range, only one stalker. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. At this point, it looks like Prome is going to break through. He's going to break through the wall. I say that the cannon does get repowered, okay? Cannon is repowered. The boys are coming in. Probes are going to be going down. That's going to be a lot of dead workers. Attempts are coming for this around. And that would be the time to back off. To back off, to retreat. Oh, now coming with a Stalker. Cybercore did complete. Stalker gets surrounded. Uh-oh. And Triple, he's holding. Triple, he's holding on. Now, it did lose a lot of workers. Unfortunately here, this you could argue has done the damage it's needed to. It's killed 9 probes, and now we only have 11 left. As Prome, he does have the greater economy. He has a better economic setup. Prome can expand. At this point, he has done enough damage, he can expand back at home. Tech-wise, Prome is equivalent to that of his opponent. Sure, the production is out in the open, so this is vulnerable to getting depowered, but for the most part, what advantage does Triple have right now? Triple's advantage was meant to be the economy, but he lost too much. He lost too much. Again, the shield battery was a little bit too late. Likewise, the Forge was too late as well. We weren't able to set up here. And we'll see how Triple reacts to this. Does he attempt to slowly expand and break out and get into a longer game, or does he turn this into an all-in? The game is going to slow down. Slow things down. Twilight Council is on the way. Here we go, Robo for Triple. I do like the Robo. The Robo is going to come online a lot sooner. So we can go for an early Prism. We can go for a mortal production. Ooh, Adepts, they're going to shade in. They can one-shot, and they will. Yeah, 1 probe, 1, 2, 3 probes going to be going down. At least 3. Oh, this is game-ending damage. This is far too much. You could have argued trying to recover early, but that's another 5 workers. You cannot afford that. Not in this kind of game state. Not like this. And I don't see Triple expanding from here. It's gonna be far too difficult. Now he's fully walling up. Immortal's on the way, not a War Prism, which means the move out is gonna be later. Which means Prome, again, he's free to saturate, he's free to expand. Free damage here on the gateway. Force fields, they're not really catching anything. He gets a Zealots. I would say that was a bit of a waste of force fields. Mortal has arrived. Prome, ooh, getting supply blocked. Uh-oh. Yeah, Prome is, macro is slipping here. Supply block back at home, still no expansion. Poking in. Going for the pylon. Okay. Nice pickup. It's a pylon. I still want him to expand. Like, he's got the money for it. He's got the money for it. If he skips a warp in, he can't expand. He can just take a Nexus. We don't have to commit, but he will get the Cybercore. Cybercore goes down. He does not skip a warp in. Does go for another wave of Stalkers. Now, what's scary about what's happening here is because we're sticking with one base versus one base, this immortal count is slowly building up. I say that, oh, the pylon is going to get picked up, but the immortal count is slowly building up, and there's a world where, especially if Prime refuses to expand, we could see Triple get up to 3, 4, 5 immortals, and then push across the map with a one base all in. Would that still be enough? It's hard to say. That's a lot of stalkers. It's hard to imagine it would be enough, but there's a chance. If Prim doesn't expand. But even then, there are just so many stalkers here. Here comes the fourth immortal. I'm still waiting to the intended nexus. Still warping in. Perhaps he can commit to the shade, he can and he will. Catching on more probes. Only getting one probe. Not ideal. But again, despite containing, like, you're not really achieving much with containing. And he's going for a robo as well. Like, Triple is still in this game. Like, thankfully, thanks to Prime, to be honest. Like, it's one of those things where if you're containing your opponent like this, like, what is your advantage? Your advantage should be the economy. You should be able to have a greater economy and then afford a larger army and then just outscale your opponent. That's not happening here. Like, the base should have been thrown down minutes ago. And because it hasn't, the supplies are still very close. Because there is no economic advantage that Prime has. Again, this is on Prime. Now we're getting to that point where this is going to be the 6th immortal. And hey, once you get up to 6 immortals, I don't know if you can really fight this head on. He goes to the dive. He gets one. He can 2 shots. He'll get the other, and he should have enough. Whew. Okay, should have enough. He should still clean up. I say that, force the blink away. That was little soldiers going down. That was 12. Jesus, 12 soldiers have fallen. But he resets the immortal count. Okay, that's what's important here. It looks like Triple, he was a little bit too premature when it came to pushing. Moved that with 5 instead of 6. And now he expands. God. Por favor. Get your expansion. Ay, ay, ay. It still should be fine though. He's got 16. He's got 16 stalkers. We're building up Archons. Ooh, okay. This I'm less certain of. Archons are ideal against Zealots. I don't see them doing too well against Stalkers. I guess they can tank some shots, but they can't do much else. They can break force fields, sure. True. Otherwise, from 16, we're getting into 21 Stalkers. Again, the supplies are still neck and neck. The big reason for that, again, is still no expansion, still no natural. He is long distance mining, so technically, the Prome does have a slightly better economy. And I guess this can get to the point where Triple fully mines out. I guess, sure. We can get to that point. Got around 500 minerals for each patch. So 2k left. So technically, this can still work. Technically. There are better ways of doing this, but it's fine. It's fine. Otherwise, interesting choice here to, I mean, every resource is so valuable here. To go into charge at this point, it's an interesting decision. I mean, I guess it's a way to be a little more efficient, but we don't really have the economy here to sustain many zealots. He is switching into charge Archon, Immortal. And as long as Prome's micro is good enough, like, he shouldn't be caught out here. Here we go, here comes a Prism. We asked one base all-ins, and Prome said we have one base all-ins at home. Ah, no. True, technically. Are we gonna get to the point where he mines out his main base and is purely long distance mining from the natural? is that gonna happen? God damn. Meanwhile, show us the dive. Doesn't quite go for it. It's gonna happen. Just purely by principle. He's like, I refuse to ever expand. I refuse. Okay. Long distance mining minerals and gas, yes. He's gonna start taking gas guys on the low ground when he mines out. Hey, he's got 400 gas left on one of the gas geysers. It's possible. We could get there. Meanwhile, we're gonna slowly sneak out. And does he notice? Will he notice what's happening as we are slowly elevating out? And then we're going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. I mean, oh no, he sees! Okay, he does notice. Does see what's going on. He does rotate and he should catch out this army. Oh no, he's on his own! Yeah, just catching off the army. Prism goes down, and so will everything. Triple's trying to race on over. I was trying to be cheeky. Let's try to be cheeky. Gets caught out, gets cleaned up. We'll lose the Prism. Should lose the Prism at least. The Archons, there we go. The Immortal as well. We'll lose a good third of his army. And our Prome can come in. Okay, was depowered. Okay. Once again, he can two-shot the Immortals. He gets one, he gets two. There's 3 Immortals left. Down to 2. The Zealots are getting a lot of damage done there. Despite that Prome, he should be able to clean this up. He doesn't have any way to read. Well, he's got one gateway. He's got one gateway. He'll warp in 1 unit at a time. Takes out the Archon, catches out the Immortal. There's 1 Immortal left. Targets it down, and with that, he has cleaned up the entire army. Again, it was a cheeky move here from... Oh, let's go, he's fighting! From Triple to try to sneak out of the main base, but he wasn't quite able to. Casito. So the real play would have been to wait for a hallucination scout, and then once he deals with it, then go immediately. Okay, let's go. GG gets called, and with that Prome, he will tie the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match here. Again, an unorthodox one base all in at a Prome, but checks out. It eventually worked. So mentioned before, there were definitely opportunities where Prome could have expanded earlier, could have expanded a lot sooner, and then he would have gained a greater economic advantage. Then he would have gotten a larger army faster as well, and could have closed it out a lot faster as well, and it would have been less intense and less close as it was. But regardless, I mean, he still pulled it off. Was able to catch it Triple with his pants down, with his army split. GG. GG, well played. Now we're going all the way to the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends. We shall see, as we have had a lot of aggression out of Prome here so far. We've had 2 1-base all-ins, essentially. 2 1-base all-ins. In game 1, he went for a 1-base 4-gate blink all-in, and here he got there eventually, but he opened up a 3-gate, proxy 3-gate, into delayed gases with initial zealots. But purely 1-base all-ins out of Prome so far. We'll see if that continues. I'm sure it will. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Pink Protoss representing amongst the 2 people. It is Prome. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the teal Protoss player, no longer green, is now teal. It is a triple. I'll fix up his colors. One moment. There we go. We go. So we're getting into set ace match. And again, Prime, he's gone for a one-base all-in every game so far. Different variations of all-in, but has committed to it. So this time, the first pylon is back at home, but where is the second pylon going to be? Where's the third pylon going to be? So we'll keep an eye on the pylons, we'll keep an eye on the setup. Likewise, Triple, he's been on the receiving end of the aggression for 2 games in a row. Is it now the time to turn the tables? Hello. Okay, we're setting up here further back, not on top of the ramp. Interesting. Going for a 2-gate opener closer to the mineral patches. Technically, this is more efficient. Technically, it means that there's less time it takes for your probe to go from building back to mining. So that is true. On the other hand, it does mean that you're lacking that wall, and that means you're going to be more vulnerable to adept harass. So you can see he's now working on that wall. It also means that the wall here is going to be a little bit more punishing. Typically, when you have gateways, a cybercore, or pylon here, you can create a little alleyway, which gives you like a couple of seconds extra time to actually react with a wall as well. Because you extend the choke. Every second can count. But here, that's not going to be the case. Opening up double sentry. Okay. Double sentry opener into a faster expansion seems to be the case. Meanwhile, we have Prime going for a Stargate before Nexus, but looks like does plan on expanding. Okay. So Stargate opener at a Prime, meanwhile faster Nexus at a triple. So Prime did poke in. Prime is aware of the timing of the base. And again, Prime, he should be expanding. We haven't seen him take a natural base yet this series, but he should be taking a natural. As with the Stargate, we should be going for the Oracle to harass across the map, but Epson moving out to harass as well, so we see mass aggression at the Prime. But we'll soon claim that Nexus. Making more Adepts. Interesting. Let's prioritize next wave of Adepts. Now should be getting the Nexus. There we go for the first time. Nexus is on the way. Meanwhile, we see Triple opening up Robo. Very safe follow-up here at a Triple. Very safe. He also scattered earlier. He did not see the Stargate though. Adepts A shade in. We get some okay force fields despite that. 1, 2, 3. Probe still going to be going down, getting up to 4. Oof. Shouldn't get 5. 4 probe kills. Here comes the Oracle. There's a shield battery in the main, so nice read here at a triple. Again, he saw that the base was late. He saw that there was a pylon. He didn't see the tech exactly, but a good read here that it would be a Stargate. Solid read. Firm does hit the natural. Yeah, shield battery's not quite in position. Adepts are going to be able to one-shot. Meanwhile, the Oracle is going ham. Oh, this is brutal damage here. 6, 7 probe kills. 8 probes. Oh, not quite. 7 workers go down. Prime does pull away. From here he pulls away, going for his Twilight Council follow-up. Now it's built up to 2 Oracles. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot workers even through the shield battery. And some of these bases looking a little bit more vulnerable here. Oracles, they can still threaten at least the gas mining workers. Behind this Twilight Council with the blink. Prime does have a comfortable worker lead. And where are we headed? From here, 4-gate blink as a follow-up. So he had a choice to make. He could have gone for a faster third base, but no, he's getting up to 4 gateways. So much more committed on 2. Oracles, they back in. They get 1, they get 2 probes. 2 managed to get away. They also get a full scout upon seeing the Robo and the Immortal. Now he knows that there is no potential for blink. Upon seeing this kind of setup, I would say that Prome can expand, but he does, Jesus. He doesn't just go up to 4 gates, he goes up to 6. So this reads like a 2-base all-in. 6 gate, 2-base all-in here out of Prome. Gee, did I say 2 gate? He's getting up to 8 gateways. Okay. So 2-base, 8 gates all-in out of Prome. Again, like, he has map control, right? It's very similar to last game, where Prome has map control, Prome has the economic advantage, Prome is ahead, Prome can just expand. Like, he could have taken a faster third. He's getting the third base, what looks to be after the gateway explosion, after the A-gate setup. Assuming he even does. Yeah, there we go. Does not get it. But again, this could have been much sooner. He's warping in those stalkers. Likewise, I mean, there's the observer, so he shouldn't get baited in. Yeah, can focus down those stasis traps. He has to retreat. Again, a big reason why I'm harping on the third base is because in a head-on fight, I do favor Triple. Triple has a stronger army, straight up. He just has a strong, with all these immortals, sentries, and stalkers. And now with +1 on the way, he does have the stronger army. Prime, what he needs to gain though for that is map control and the better economy instead, with the faster bases. And he didn't quite achieve that. He does have a faster third, but not as fast as otherwise could have been. So his advantage isn't as great as it otherwise needs to be. And I'm concerned. I'm getting to charge, getting to forge +1. Now saturating his third. Again, Triple, he's doing the right thing. He just has to slowly build up on 2 bases. Doesn't have to push out. Doesn't have to fight for control of the area outside of, oh, geez, outside of his natural. No Oracle. Sorry, no Observer is what I wanted to say, which means no vision. Triple, does he notice those stasis traps? Uh-oh. Does he notice? He might have seen the shimmer. He might have just seen the shimmer there. Yeah, he's waiting for the observer. Yeah. So I think he saw it. So he's waiting for the observer instead. Yeah, observer comes out. You can focus him down. At the same time, double Oracle into the main. Getting a couple of probes. 2, 3 probes going down. And on the one hand, Prime, he has a larger army. That is true. It's purely a gateway composition. Purely Zealot and Stalker. Meanwhile, when you see Triple, he does have the higher quality army. He's got Archons, he's got Immortals, he's got +1. +1 is soon to finish up though for Prime. He'll soon catch up in upgrades. +1 is soon to finish. The armies, they might just pass by each other. What's the plan? Oh, army gets spotted. Yes, there's a lot of... How many cells are there? 33! 33 charges, but I'll be honest, 33 charges against 5 Archons. The Archons can still take that fight. The Archons, they just do so much splash damage. The way this works, the Archons are for the Zealots, the Immortals are for the Stalkers. But the Archons are a little bit too far back. Yeah, some of them are not fighting. Nice force fields. Yeah, chokes up those Zealots, and you can see the Zealots, they just melt. We had 33, now going down to 17. The Immortals are exposed, getting 1. It's 1 Immortal. Not bad. that was 23 Zealots going down for one Archon. One Archon for 23 Zealots. Crazy. Well, the Archons, I mean, they're slowly losing their shields. I mean, at least Prone was able to get one Immortal as well. And we have likewise Archons on the way from Prone. The Archons for Prime are not going to be as impactful just because Triple isn't as Zealot heavy, but still will help. Oh. Let's see, Prime, he does want one of those Archons. Fill it up on the right hand side. You see Triple pulling away between his bases. Yeah, Zealots are coming from behind, Triple out of position. Zealots are going for the mineral line. And Triple is racing back over. Probes are going down. All these Zealots are going to be thrown away, though. That's a lot of Zealots, but hey, they go back. They go further into the main. Triple, can he keep up? It does respond with his own Archons. Probe's going to be going down. Yeah, messy defense here from Triple. Very messy. Lose 9 workers. Has to try to resaturate. But now he's diving in. And this is the fight that Triple can win. Yeah, Probe has to get the hell out of here. Probe at the same time trying to go for a counterattack. Getting caught out. Zelsay trade well, and Triple, he might just have too much. We gotta keep going. Keep going, back. Keep going. You shout out to commentator in the chat. God, my God, thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months, for half a year, half a year of support. Thank you for 6 months. Do appreciate it. Como siempre, como siempre. Stasis goes off, but nice stasis. Buying some time, but again, it's still just a very cheap army. Meanwhile, you see Promes across the map. He's forcing the all-in. It goes to the warp in. Zealots are wreaking havoc. Triple, got to go. He could always recall if need be. He chooses not to warp in defensively. He warps in across the map instead. And we go for the base trade. Yeah, at this point, we're going, oh my, that's a lot of Archons. Okay. What's this? 6 Archons morphing in. Meanwhile, do we have any defensive warp-ins here? Zealots are racing across the map. Oh. You don't want to throw those Zealots away. Nice control from Tripoli pulls back for a moment there. Yeah, it does pull back. Tripoli will have the better engage. Zealots peel off into the natural. And yeah, Prime, he realized he cannot fight. He cannot fight this. If Prime fights head on, he will lose. So he turns back around and we came into the base trade. But Prime, he has an expansion fully mining. He has a fully mining ninja base. See, Tripoli does evacuate. He can't afford a Nexus. You have a probe on the left. Everything here should be depowered. And it looks like the main base for Prome is going to go down first, but Prome still has this ninja. Oh, and then let's go. He throws down a wall of shield batteries. And they will finish. These shield batteries, they will complete. They will finish. This will be huge here to defend. That's all he needs. A wall of shield batteries and his army in position as well. Because even though in a head-on fight, Triple will win, with shield batteries coming into the fray, I mean, that might not be the case. That might be enough. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Tripoli throws down a pylon in the main base of his opponent. Cleans up all the tech structures, but it's on him to look for the base. He has to figure out what the hell's going on. Does leave a couple of buildings behind. We do see Prome has less Archons. Prome has more Zealots. And he has 4 shield batteries. Yeah, the shield batteries are done. Triple, he realizes. Does see the batteries. Oh, the immortals are exposed. Yeah, the immortals. Oh, they're out of position. They should not be here. 1, 2, 3 immortals going down. They should have been behind the Archons. Ay, ay, ay. So miscontrol here from a triple. He'll lose every immortal. That should not have happened. And with that, Prome's done it. Yeah, Prome, he has done it. Miscontrol here from triple. GG gets called. And Prome, he will take the series 2-1. Advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. Yeah, GG, well played. Prome, he will claim the series. Again, a very intense back and forth. And Triple, he had potential. Unfortunately, he did not, or he did not find the ninja base, or he didn't find it fast enough to stop those shield batteries. Once they got up and running, again, that was the difference that Prome needed to be able to take a fight, to be able to actually fight back against the main army of Triple. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Prome. He will claim it. And with that, Prome does advance on. Let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. GG, well played. Ooh. As we have, oh my god, as those are fast games. Jesus, those are very fast games. But it looks like we have some updates here. Rogue, he did have a walkover in the first round. Ooh. Did have a walkover. Rogue, I do mean, but before we get ahead of ourselves, looks like we do have our next series. Moment. Gee, the videos are so fast. So fast. But from the top, herO was waiting in the next round, and herO vs. Prome is going to be our next series here on the broadcast. Rogue got a walkover. Creator, he 2-0'd Erebus Black. Rogue 2-0'd Creator as well, and Rogue is already in the semis. Our matches were pretty fast. Rogue versus Creator and Creator versus Erebus Black was even faster. That is crazy. Because we had almost non-stop all-ins, except for that final game. So Rogue is waiting in the semis. Meanwhile, we are jumping into our quarterfinals match as spawning in the... God damn it. Spawning in the, not the first time we've seen this, spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Protoss player representing Twisted Minds. Typically Protoss, but here he is once again off racing as Terran. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea representing Among Us Two People. It is Prome. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. For those that are curious about herO's skill level with his Terran, he is GM. He's around 6k. He's around 6k with his Terran, just as a heads up. Again, he has off-raced before. We've casted herO versus... I want to say we've casted herO versus... Dark when it comes to off races, and herO versus... Who's another that comes to mind? I know he's off-race against Dark. Not against Maru. I know Maru has off-raced himself against Percival. herO, he off-raced against Dark, and I want to say he's off-raced against other people as well. Maybe Shin. Maybe Shin. Here we go. Here we go. I smell tuna. Ah, you smell KSL. Tuna Cup is tomorrow. Right place at the wrong time. When it comes to the rest of the bracket, though, scrolling down, Nice took down Gilliman 2-0. Nice is up against Classic in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Percival took down Patches 2-0. Percival up against Cure in the quarterfinals as well. So all the quarterfinal matches have begun. They've all started. But Rogue is already in the semis, so we're going to be following this series into Rogue. That'll be the plan into the grand finals. If we have time, if some matches line up, then we will be able to cover the lower semifinals as well, but it all depends on how fast or how slow some of these games are. Now, when it comes to herO's play, from my recollection, again, it's been a couple of months since we've seen his Terran, but from my recollection, herO, he played 2 base. I think the last time we saw him, he 3-raxed, I want to say. He like went 3-rax stim, if not mistaken. Here, that's not the case here. Here, it's going to be double gas, faster factory, delayed CC out of herO. Let's go. Oh, opening up Widow Mine, not Hellion. Okay, so setting up for mine drops. This is kind of greedy here, just because, yeah, he will have a little bit less to scout earlier on. Reaper does hunt down the probe. Back across the map, we do have our Twilight Council opener at a probe. Opening up Twilight Council into Blink. As the Reaper is going to be hunted. Oh, that's going to not be hunted down. Nice bait here into the Widowmine. Widowmine was hidden behind the CC. Nice catch. herO baits him in. And the Adept, oh, we'll get one. We'll get two SCVs. Not bad. Two SCVs, but oh, the CC does complete. Adept does bust into the main. More boys being pulled. It was a cheeky start. It was a nice start from herO, but he's losing SCVs. It 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Losing up to 4. Ooh, 4 SCVs. 4 workers go down. That was a better trade here for Prome. And hero's got a counterattack as he moves out. Another Stalker moves in. Again, herO, he chose to skip the bunker. Did choose to skip. herO moving out. We can see Prome coming in with the interception. Prome does move in. The medevac taking a lot of damage. Oh my god. And the medevac will make it into the main. There's no defensive warp in. Bold move by herO, but he does waddle into the mineral line. And where's the reaction? Oh my god, late reaction here by Prome. That's going to be 2 probes in the main. So far, sorry, 4 probes even. One of them was the Adept earlier, true. So 3 in total. Widowmine does barely go down in time. Whew. And Prome defense. Prome setting up across the map. Remember, herO, he has been skipping bunkers, so he's a little bit more vulnerable here. He does have a tank. Tank is unsieged. And Prome, can he break this position? I want to say that he could. With another warp in, he might have enough. Now there's a second tank. Ooh. Second tank. herO moves out. Another warp in is on the way. With that, Stalkers are going down. herO should be able to hold on here. Yeah, he shuts down the Stalkers, denies the gateway. herO holds. Here he does hold on, shuts down the proxy. Prome, Jesus, how many gates is he on? 2 base 6 gate setup. Very committed play here out of Prome. And he's moving out with slow lots. Charge is only halfway done. Hyper aggression out of Prome, but I don't know how successful it's really going to be. herO, he's very much so spread thin. If hero's not too careful, these tanks, they're going to be shut down. So here come more warp-ins. Mind drop back into the main. Liberator as well. Liberator getting 6 kills. Ooh. 6 workers go down, 11 in total. Charge is now done. And Prome will clean this up. Yeah, he'll clean up the Marines, he'll clean up the tanks as well. Again, as you mentioned, herO is too spread thin. Boys are being pulled, and Prome, you can just go for the kill. Go! Send it! You can do it! Breakthrough, takes out all the boys. Can he get on top of the tank? He can, and he will. Yeah, just barely. You can see how low the Zealots are, but he takes down the final tank. If he had a Prism, if he had that gateway set up, and if he could reinforce right here and right now, he could just win the game. But his warpins are so delayed, or they're so far back. They're going to be so slow as well. Like, Prome, he's close. He is close. Can he force a friendly fire? A little bit. Does force a bit of friendly fire, but the Zealots are being cleaned up. herO, he holds. Get the power of the medevacs, the power of the Marauders. He does stand his ground. Prome did well cleaning up all those tanks, but at this point, we've been here before, I feel like we need to be expanding. Like, at this point, Prime, I feel like he's missed his window. He's missed his window, he's missed his opportunity. As we mentioned before, like, if he had a proxy already set up, then different story, but he didn't have one. Not diving on the bio. Lion shot save pop up. Yeah, here he shuts us down completely. Again, like, Prime, he kind of pulled this off, not anymore. He's being overly aggressive, losing far too much, losing Sentry, the Zealots, the Stalkers as well. Again, this is not the fight to take, and he will lose everything. GG gets called, and herO will take game number 1. Whew, GG. herO, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Prome, he had momentum, he had opportunities. Unfortunately, even though he was achieving so much damage, he was forced all in, or he was forcing himself all in. He chose to commit to the all in, but he didn't really have the setup to reinforce across the map. Whether it was with a War Prism, whether it was Proxy Pylon, Proxy Gateway, just didn't have that setup. His Warpins were so delayed, and herO, he bought enough time to recover. GG, well played. Now we're getting into game number 2. We go. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have our South Korean, typically Protoss, but here he is as a Terran player representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the pink Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing among us 2 people. It is Prone. Here, calming things down. Here, once again embracing Terran, of course. Last game was very intense, was very, actually quite close for a lot of that, but we saw that Prone was hyper aggressive. Like, he was just constantly just sending whatever he could across the map. The first Adept, the first Stalker, the second Stalker as well, the Proxy Pylon. I feel like herO now has a better idea of how Prone approaches this matchup, and I would hope to see a defensive bunker. I would hope to see an earlier bunker here just to be secure, just to be safe. Some players do skip it, as we saw out of herO, and hey, he paid the price for it. But we'll see as, ooh, Prome opens up 2 gates. Hyper aggression once again from Prome. Opening up 2 gates, delayed expansion in favor of additional gateway units early on. So with this, he can rally early Adepts, rally early Stalkers, even more so than previously. Ooh, Economic Opener. Ranks expands. So Economic Opener, he had a herO aggressive start at a Prome, and we'll see if Prome can punish the greed of herO. Oh geez, that's here he goes Marine first into Tech Lab. Ay. So a couple of things here. This means 0 scouting. Means no SCV scout, no Reaper scout either. So 0 scouting at a herO. herO doesn't know how much danger he's in. Here comes the probe. Here comes the proxy. Yeah, 1 base all in at a Prome. Twilight Council's on the way. Now, herO with the Tech Lab, of course, he is going to be opening up Marauder. That is true. But I mentioned before that I would want to see a blind bunker here, especially after what happened last game. We're not seeing one. So 3 gate setup. This we have seen out of herO before. If you recall, I mentioned this at the start of the series. How last time we saw him did go for 3 gate. Oh, sorry, 3. I keep saying 3 gate. 3x stim. herO, he finds the proxy. Okay, he kills the probe, which means there is no follow-up here. Not for quite some time. Here he pulls away. Upon seeing this, though, still no bunker. He's crazy. Okay, let's go. Catching out the very nice catch. Yeah, Concussive Shell is done. 1 Stalker goes down. Oof. Yeah, Prome losing far too much already, losing the probe, the pylon, the Stalker. herO pulls away. Yeah, hero's fine. here is perfectly fine. There is nothing to threaten him. It's going to be a delayed one-base all-in from Prime, as he's still hyper. I mean, he's still all-in. Like, 3rd gateway at home, 4th gateway across the map. It's going to be one-base 4-game blink all-in. But Prime has lost a lot of momentum. A lot of momentum here, so we're trying to warp in more stalkers. A lack of bunker is still a little bit concerning. Like, technically, Prime could try to focus on all the marauders one at a time, but they're so tanky. And Stim is going to finish in time for this push. Stim is done in a couple of seconds. Worst case scenario that I'm afraid that we're going to see is that Prime, he sees the army, he blinks forward, and then the army stims, and he loses everything. Oh, but they're missing each other. Uh-oh. Okay. We are going to be completely missing each other here. Stalkers, they do hit the natural. Meanwhile, here he turns back around. He's racing back home. So he's going to be falling. Hero racing back. Boys are being pulled. Ooh, denies combat shields. Blinks on the army. But it is going to be a one-way trip. Stalkers, they can blink down to low ground. They will. They're going to be trapped. There's a recall. And in the end, what? 4 Stalkers survive. Every Stim is hurting as well. Remember, there's no medevacs. No medevacs, no healing. No support for the army. Based on the direction of the Stalkers, that should tell here that there should be a proxy in this area. Should be a proxy. Catching 1, 2, 3, catching... Oof. Almost all the Stalkers. Another Stim. Hero getting caught out. Down to 1 Marauder. Yeah, 1 Marauder left. Hero just getting as much value as he can out of this. 4 Stalkers remain. Yeah, now he's gonna now he gets the bunker. God damn. So late. Este Hero. Oh, nice control. Saves one of the Marauders. Once again starts stepping in. Jesus, getting a lot of value here. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4 Stalkers. Once again, he does lose all of his Marauders, but the bunker will finish. Let's get in. Let's get in time. Once again, he's controlling well. Oh! He wants that Marauder, he gets it! Gets the Marauder. First medevac is on the way. Widow Mines as well, interesting. He might be going for a mine drop instead. Yeah, he's going for it. Set in the bunker once again. Though here he stims in. He punishes and he will catch every Stalker. TT as GG gets called, and Hero, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well, GG, well played. Congratulations. Here, he will claim the series. Here, he will claim the series. Will advance on. Again, a very, very intense. Very intense series, very intense matchup here. Congratulations. Congratulations. And with that, Hero, he will advance onto the semis. He'll advance onto the semifinals. My condolences to Prime. I mean, hey, especially game 1. Game 1 was really close. Even here in game 2, like Hero, he was taking a lot of chances. He was taking a lot of chances. It was wild. With that, congratulations. With that, congratulations. And we are now getting ready for our next matchup. Let's have a look at the bracket. Let's figure out what's going on. Where are we and where are we headed? Okay. Oh, we have those updates. Classic takes a nice 2-1. Shout to Nice again. Nice, he just keeps getting these like better and better results. Even though he's a retired player, even though Nice has not been competing for quite some time, he's still got it. Still a beast in his own right. So GG well played. Nice did take a game, but Classic does claim the series. Likewise, we have Cure. He takes on Percival 2-0, and we have Classic versus Cure in the lower semifinals. Meanwhile, we have our upper semis, herO versus Rogue. This is going to be a rematch, and this might also be a really short series, by the way. If we'll get into it, I suppose, after the break. We're going to be going on a very short break here. When we come back, we'll have Rogue and herO in those semis. We'll see you soon after said break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals or semifinales here of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 78. It's been a fast broadcast so far, a lot of really fast matches, and I expect this one to be a fast one as well. I'll be honest. We'll get into it. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, let's go with cannon rushing. It's going to be a short series. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck as we are opening up with a cannon rush. Now, if you watched Rogue versus herO in GSL Season 2 a month ago in the semifinals, you'll know that they had a very fast best of 5. We were referencing it when we casted herO versus Solar at EWC as well, which was also a very fast series where herO, he was dying to no-stop all-ins. Like all-ins that were killing him time and time again. But here instead, herO is the first to be the aggressor as he sets up with the cannon rush outside of the natural. Now the Overlord will see everything. Rogue is fully aware, and Rogue does pull the boys. The boys are being pulled. The cannon so far is safe. Ooh, I say that the pylon is not going to be thrown down. Instead, the probes are going to be chased instead, which means the cannon will finish. Yeah, the cannon will complete. Second cannon's going to get surrounded, and the second cannon should not finish. Oh, I said, never mind. Drones are forced back. The cannon, the first one does complete. The second one's within range. And herO is slowly encroaching, slowly pushing forward. This second cannon not being cancelled is huge. Like, this second cannon is now going to finish up, and now you cannot expand. The hatchery finishes, but now it's within range of the cannons. Oof. It is within range. Now we have spine coolers on the way, but the cannon is going ham. We have more cannons finishing up. I believe these 2 cannons will be within range of the hatchery. Some wasted DPS on the Overlord. Really nice moves out of Rogue. He's intentionally tanking shots. Assuming he doesn't lose it. Yeah, he doesn't lose it. Whew. Nice control. But does tank some shots. Wasted DPS. And again, those are what, like 5 shots? 4 to 5 shots. Which could have been done on this base, which would have been a faster kill, but I think they will still kill this. Yeah, Lings, they intend to engage. Zealots are out to support. Spine Coolers, they're going to be able to burrow here, but alas, one of them is going to go down. Yeah, GG gets called. He cannot save this. The cannon rush is too successful, and herO takes game number 1. GG. Here he does take the first game. He does successfully cannon rush. Again, it was so crucial that that second cannon got up and running. I was convinced that Rogue was going to be able to surround and focus it down, and Rogue did surround, but once the first cannon finished, he backed off. He didn't risk it. And upon not risking it, he lost the base. Like, there was no saving that natural base. He was able to tank some shots with the Overlord, which was really impressive, to be able to buy time for the Spine Coolers to finish, but even despite that, it was still far too much damage with the 3 cannons and with the 2 Zealots as well. GG. GG, well played. herO does take it 1-0 lead, and now we're jumping to game number 2. Let's go. We're jumping into game 2. And again, we're expecting this to be a short series. Let's go. So we're getting into that second game. Now, I don't expect to see another cannon rush here, 2 games in a row. That I'm not quite expecting. But we'll see. What I am expecting are all-ins. Like Rogue, the last time we played against herO, and when herO played up against Solar as well, we've seen nothing but 2 and 3 base all-ins from the side of Zerg, mainly 3 base all-ins, to be honest. So we're expecting that here as well. We'll see. We'll see if herO is able to stop that from happening, if he's able to be aggressive and active before that. We shall see. I see someone. Unfortunately, we don't really have commands available in our YouTube chat, but I got you. I'll post that. The brackets. But spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0 after a very successful cannon rush. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. We go. As herO this time he's setting up on the low ground. This time it looks like we won't be going for a cannon rush. He could try to fake a cannon rush with a scouting probe. We'll keep it on herO. So now we have hatch first out of Rogue. Does open up hatch first. herO going for his own gate expand setup. Okay. I say good. Do have standard openers. When it comes to Tokamak is known for its more defensive play, so what I will say is that if Rogue does go for an all-in on this map, it is going to be less effective. I will say the map is going to be assisting herO in that defense. He'll have a stronger setup, so it's going to be more difficult to pull off. So coming into this, I do favor herO. I do favor herO specifically on Tokamak. I'm not as convinced that Rogue could break him, but we'll see if he does come out with something a little bit different. We have seen some successful 3-base all-ins with the inclusion of drop play. to head into the main, to head into the natural at the same time for a tri-pronged attack. We could see herO be hyper greedy and try to out-greed and try to outscale herO instead and get a faster 4th base and a faster 5th and just faster saturation. We'll see how this plays out. But again, I do know that herO, when we spoke about it last night, if you weren't here for it, sorry, 2 nights ago, if you weren't here for the podcast, I do recommend checking out the VOD, as we had a lot to discuss. But we spoke about how herO, he was very vocal about his regrets about EWC. herO, he made a post talking about how, I mean, we spoke about it when we were casting it, about how it felt like herO didn't really get to play StarCraft, he didn't really get to showcase any of his builds against Solar in the playoffs. And herO, he echoed those sentiments, where he was saying himself that, like, he had done all this preparation, he had come up with all these builds, he had all these, like, he had planned out a lot, but he didn't get to show any of that off, and he was definitely very regretful after that Solar series. But did say that he would, of course, do his best for the next time. Try to recover, bounce back. So we'll see if herO will vent his frustrations on Rogue. That's kind of what I was getting at. As behind this Rogue, just standard opener, hatch gas pull, going for his 3rd base, pulling out of gas. Adept pokes in, Adept is going to be zoned away, and herO can now expand. Behind this was a Stargate opener, so just a standard opener. He had a herO opening up a Gate expand, Cybercore into Stargate, into Oracle into a 3rd expansion. This isn't really what we're looking for. We're really looking for the big deviation coming into the mid game. We're looking for Rogue. Looking to see if he goes Eva Chamber first, Roach Warren Lair. We'll see what tech he goes for, and when he does cut saturation, there it is, he does go for the early Evo Chamber. This does scream +1 melee, this does scream Ling Hydra. It looks to be the case that Rogue is planning on skipping Roaches. This can be abused, this can be punished. If herO can recognize what's going on, he could try to react to this and try to hit an earlier timing with charge and +1 instead of blink. So we'll see what herO can see. As is that melee upgrade, herO pokes in, does catch some transferring workers. Oh my god! 3, 4, 5 drones already going to be going down. One of the Oracles does barely escape, but he's not done. Does 9 mining here, and he does try to go for another drone. Now, on the one hand, this is very nice damage, and both Oracles survive, but he fails to scout the tech. He doesn't see whether or not there is an Eva Chamber or a Roach Warren. So he's working with incomplete information. He does throw down a Forge, throws down a Twilight Council. He might just set up here for +1 and blink, not charge, which would be just the standard. Oh, Lings are coming for this round. Nice catch. Yeah, where's the shade? Yeah, nice catch from the Adepts. Actually, never mind. He can try to hold his own, but 1, 2 Adepts go down. I see 2 losing up to 3. But very nice control there from herO. Does maintain himself, does keep pushing. Oh, gets behind the mineral line. Did he see the Bailey nest? He did. Yeah, he saw the nest, so he knows it's going to be Ling Bane. So +1 and blink are going to be on the horizon. Here he doesn't get baited into charge. Nice catch by Rogue. Rogue catching at the Adepts. Building up his Ling Bane. Now, we're expecting Rogue to get up to 3 base saturation, then to throw in a Hydra and go into Mass Ling Bane Hydra. Also, what we're seeing here out of Rogue is very similar to what we saw against herO in GSL, where Rogue actually committed really hard to Ling Bane, and you can see here he's getting ready for a run-by, getting ready for a counterattack. Rogue, he's cutting workers early, he's an all-in. He's going for a 3 base all-in, just pure Ling Bane, and cutting workers early at 43. This is under 3 base saturation for Rogue. And this is how Rogue beat herO at GSL. And you can see herO just being hyper defensive. He does back off, he walls up. But what Rogue wants is for herO to move out. Rogue, he wants to fight herO out in the open. Meanwhile, here comes the Bane Bust. Headed for the natural. And he will break through. Yeah, breaks through the front door, busts into the mineral line. And probes are going to be going down. Oof, yeah, brutal damage. And again, he's not done. He's going now further into the main. And remember, Rogue, he has to do critical damage here. Rogue, he's only on 38 drones. Oof, doesn't quite make it into the main, but that's going to be 19 dead workers. So far, good damage out of Rogue, but he needs more. He needs more than that. He's going for the Cybercore. Yeah, Cybercore is going down. Lings they keep rallying across the map, catching out the Stalkers. herO, he gets caught out in the open. This is what he wanted. He's going to get every single Stalker. Stalkers are going down. Oh, barely a shield battery here at the third base as well. herO backs off. He backs off, and again, this was good damage. He got Stalkers, he got 19 probes, he got a Cybercore, but remember, he was all in. He still only has 38 drones. He's still down heavily in the worker count. He needs more. Like, this is good damage, but not enough. This is not enough. This is how all in and how committed herO was. His lair is still not even done. And he's still rallying. He's still rallying. Bailings, they do shut down the Zealots at least. Cleans up the Zealots. Once again, tries to go for the mineral line. Catching another Stalker, and he is getting more probe kills. Again, this is very necessary damage for Rogue. 6 probes going down. And now you can see Rogue catching up. 8 probe kills, 9 even. Yeah, 9 probes do fall, and now Rogue, he now takes a worker lead. Whew, it took a lot. It took a lot for this to happen, but now Rogue, this has in a way paid for itself. Rogue is still behind in other aspects though. You can see that Rogue, he still only has +1. He only just finished up the lair. He's now getting to the Hydrogen. Meanwhile, herO is working on 2-1. +2 attack and +1 shields. So upgrades heavily in favor of herO. And herO, he had more mining for longer as well. So this was okay damage out of Rogue. I would still say though, not good enough. It was still not enough damage. herO sustained losses, but herO is still in a solid position here compared to his opponent. And herO, he's responding with double Robo. Interesting follow-up. Not going into Storm. Which again, against Lingbane Hydra, I would assume that Storm would be the go-to. Might go for both. Temple Archives on the way, double Robo's on the way. But herO's being defensive. Like, all this tech tells us one thing. It tells us that herO's not pushing. herO, he's not pushing. He's focusing on defending, turtling up, and taking up instead. So Rogue has gained map control. Now, the correct thing to do from here would be a couple of things. Rogue, he sees the base, would be to deny the 4th and delay the 4th base as long as possible, and also to drone up as heavily as he can, because there's no threat of a counter attack. There's no threat of a counter attack, so now would be the time to drone up to 80. Drone up all the way to 80, take gases, tech up into Hive, double expand. And Rogue is droning, so good call. Rogue, he's droning up, he's saturating. There we go, now takes another expansion. I wouldn't be opposed to double expanding, but sure. And I feel like from here, Rogue would have to start working towards Lurker tech. Towards Lurkers and Hive. I say that, instead, he's focusing on maxing out Lingbane Hydra. So this is a bit of a safer response out of Rogue. He's now fixating on his army production, whereas I feel like he could get away with some tech. But he also doesn't know how greedy or how tech-heavy his opponent's being until now. Now he goes in, he does see the Temple Archives, sees the Bay on the way. The fact that the Bay is still in production should tell Rogue that he's safe to tech. As he drones up a little bit more. Here he will deny mining. Here he will deny mining time. Lingbane rolling in. Storm is not a factor here, so the High Templar getting called out. Here does he realize he does not have Storm. That's High Templar getting called out. High spanning connections. Here being forced all the way back. See, Champs chases down. Getting punished for a moment. Here we go, Colossus production has begun. And Rogue is now working towards Hive Tech, but this is late. This is a little bit later here for Rogue. There was an opportunity to have teched up earlier and faster. But now he's going to be fixated on Lingbane Hydra. He gets one of the Archons. Lings, they peel off to the right-hand side, but there are cannons to defend, to buy time. No shield batteries, though. herO getting caught out a little bit. It's being pulled apart, but he does warp in. He will lose his cannons. He has to replace them. He's holding onto his third. The Colossus have now arrived, and with the help of the Colossus, he should be fine. He should be fine. And this is why we spoke about how Rogue should be taking into Lurkers, because he cannot break this position, not against 2 Colossus. That's going to happen. Oh my god, massive connections though. Banelings get into the mineral line. 18 Pro's going to be going down. We spoke about it here. He did not replace that stack defense, did not warp in. herO losing workers, but the Lurker Den is late. That's a late Lurker Den. So I don't know if herO's main army can be stopped. This is nice harassment, and Rogue once again going for another run by. Once again, no more stack defense here. Ooh, not able to break through the Archon. Archon does morph in time. herO again, he's pushing forward. Getting up to 4 Colossus. Getting up to 4. Likewise, nice kiting here out of herO. The Colossus, they do fall back. Shuts down the Link Bane, but where's the support? Yeah, herO overextended. herO overextended. He will lose one. He will lose both Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. The reinforcements arrive just too late, but he still does punish those Hydras. And here he might still have enough. herO plummets in supply. Remember, his Lurker Den was late, his Hive was late, and the Lurkers are not ready. And without Lurkers, he cannot survive. He cannot survive. He cannot defend. herO, he could pounce on this army, but instead he plays it safe, gets the expansion. Recalls back home. Just in time. Does recall in time. And herO can keep going. He can keep pushing. Now, because herO recalled, because he raced back home, he's giving Rogue the time that he needs to actually morph in the Lurkers. If herO kept pushing, if he had just kept moving in, kept pushing forward, he most likely would have broken the back of Rogue. But Rogue, now he has a backbone. Now he has Lurkers. So he has been given that time. So Rogue now has somewhat of a fighting chance. I say somewhat, still no 5th. Still no 5th base. So Rogue, he is down in economy, down in production. Going for another run by. Gets in. Gets into the bases. More Rogue's going to be going down. Here he's committed. Does he have detection? He does, but it's a little bit late. Observer does push forward, and here he will catch out all these Lurkers just barely. Whew. Yeah, he breaks through the Lurkers, breaks through that defensive line. GG gets called, and herO, he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Not the cleanest of games, very messy. A very messy game here between herO and Rogue. Again, Rogue, he had committed to his initial all-in. Remember, he cut workers at 48. He cut workers, I think it was at around like 48 workers. He went down to 39, if you recall, because of the counterattack, but a very low drone kind of committed to Linkbane all-in. And if you recall, we did emphasize how Rogue did a lot of damage. He killed 19 probes, he caught stalkers, he killed the Cybercore. Not enough damage. That was still not enough. It shows just how all in and how committed Rogue was at the start of the game. So herO, he's able to defend, able to stabilize, able to recover. Despite that, there were some moments here where Rogue was able to recover and drone up, but we spoke about how Rogue, he wasn't, it doesn't feel like he was greedy enough, where he did delay his tech. He delayed his tech. I think he got his own infestation bit at around 12 minutes, like 11:30 to 12 minutes. He got his Hive late, and he never quite got into his Lurker tech. Got into it at the very end, but by then, too little too late. Too little too late. GG, well played. With that, herO does claim the series, and herO does advance on to the grand finals. And let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Do we have a finals ready? Oh boy. The answer is we do not. Okay, Classic versus Cure, still ongoing, still mid-series. It looks like that's being casted by Inu and by Dave at Testa. So let's have a look here. Dave, he is covering that series, and they're in game 1? That can't be right. They started before us, right? Or after game 1. Hold on. Hold on. Where is Inu's channel? Let's have a look here. No shot, they're in game 1. Because they're only like 4 minutes into their game 1 pylon. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Inu's stream. Yeah, they're in game 2. Yeah. Look, I don't want to throw any shade to Dave, but if I tune into Dave's stream and I see a 0-0 score line, I didn't believe it at all. For good reason. So Dave has the wrong score on screen. They're actually in game 2, and Classic is he's up 1-0. Classic is up 1-0. So Classic is one game away from claiming the series. So this could be a PvP finals between Classic and herO, or if Cure wins this game on Pylon, then we could see an ace match. We could see a game 3 instead. So may as well set up for that. Classic and Cure. Classic, he's on Virtus Pro. That's it. Classic on Virtus Pro. Cure on Team Liquid. Classic is up 1-0. Okay. Best of 5. Beautiful. Nah, but GG, well played. And again, if you want to tune into game 2 of Cure versus Classic, they're currently 6 minutes in. They're being covered by Dave, Testa, and by Into the Inu in Korean, of course, by Inu on Into the Clan. And it's still early. It's still early in their game, so there's still a lot to get through between them. So a lot to get to. So from here, we might as well just go on a short break. Go on a short break here. When we come back, we'll either have the ace match of Classic and Cure, or we will have the grand finals between herO and Classic. One or the other. One or the other. So with that, take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. We'll be back soon with some more StarCraft, with some more KSL. See you soon after the break. See you soon. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals, those grand finales here of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 78. It has been an intense tournament so far, and I do apologize for the extended downtime, but Classic and Cure were facing off. They were in game 2 on Pylon, and it was a bit of a longer game. Cure, he played mech. He went mech against Protoss, he went mass tank. It was a bit of a slower form of mech, which we have seen before on Pylon from Cure. Fun fact, we did see that previously during EWC, and Classic was able to bring him down to 0. Now we have our grand finals. We have our best of 5, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have our South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And you know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Which way will it go? Will it go the way of one Protoss or the other? Will it go the way of herO or Classic? Best of luck. Up to you to make that choice here. Coming into this, I'll be honest, it's going to be a close one. herO and Classic, they often go back and forth. We expect some shorter games. We expect a lot of intensity between these two players. We rarely get to see a mid to late game between these two in PvP, so I'm ready. I'm excited. So far, so good. Two-gate opener. Proxy set up here out of Classic, assuming he does, stay here in the center of the map. So Classic is setting up for a proxy, setting up for what could be a one-base all-in, especially if he does stick around, and he is sticking around. And meanwhile, herO going for his own two-gate opener back at home. So Classic does take a risk, does take a chance. He does pull the probe away. He will double back, and we will set up. We will set up here based on its location. It's hard to say. We have seen proxy robo here, but we've also seen proxy Stargate, as it is relatively close. But show us what you got. There it is. Robo gets thrown down. One base all in. So Classic, he will kick off this series going for the first one base all in of this best of 5. Meanwhile, herO will see if he can scout. We'll see if he can recognize what's going on, checking his vision. No probe scout. Ooh, no probe scout out of herO. Otherwise, he would know that the pylon was missing. He would have known that the pylon was missing, would have known to scout, would have known to check, but he does not probe scout. Instead, we have a double adept opener into a faster Nexus. Oof. herO going for an economic opener. This is looking a little bit more ideal for Classic. I say economic opener, it was still 2-gate, right? 2-gate into the expansion, but this is 2-gate expand before any tech, before the robot, before Stargate, before anything else behind this. So we'll see if herO can get away with this. We'll see if Classic can punish. As the they do pass by. They did scout each other. You can see, Classic is in position to block the wall, to block the ramp. They do threaten a shade, and does block off on the one. The other does make it in, and with that, we should get a full scout. We should get a full scout of the main base. Probes are going to be going down. That should not have happened. At the same time, we do see Classic does commit as well. He will lose his first 2 probes as well. First sword ups, I should say. Sword ups are going down. But that's already going to be 4 probe kills. herO is popping off in the main. Yeah, it does pop off, does recall back home, does recognize there's nothing across the map, so now he knows, and as a response, defensive robo. Now this robo is later than his opponent, of course, because it's a reactive robo, but it's on the way nonetheless, and this will give access to Immortal production, give access to a defense. And meanwhile, here comes the proxy Immortal here from Classic. He's got his Prism first into the Immortal, Stalkers are moving out. Classic did lose a lot of workers, and you can see here setting up the proxy pylon to send in more adepts across the map. Speaking of, he's moving out. Here, he's moving out. The goal here is to cripple his opponent and to ideally force Classic to come back home. But Classic is going for it, going for the main. And the main base is empty. The main base is empty. Here, he will have a defensive warp in. And the rover just now finishes up. And going for the pylon. Yeah, it does go for the pylon, does go for the production. The pylon goes down, that's going to be, I mean, that's going to be game. Yeah, that is going to be game here. As we're going for a pseudo base trade, the boys are being pulled. No warp-ins. No warp-ins, no defenses. The boys are doing what they can. At the same time, herO also breaks through, but the gateways are still powered. He can still warp in defensively. And Classic, I believe he should be... Oh, it's going to be close. Never mind. And they break in. They do break in. They're going for the mineral end as well. No economy, no mining. For anyone, by the way. herO pulling back into the main base, and we actually recall back home. And that's going to be so many dead workers for both players. herO, he will lose 13 workers, meanwhile 6 probes go down for Classic. Both players under 20 workers, 18 and 15, respectively. But he forced a recall, which means what? Which means everything's repowered. Everything's repowered and the Immortal is out. herO, he defends, and hero's on 2 bases. Remember, it's more important that herO defends, as he will get further and further ahead. Classic, meanwhile, he's now to 2 Immortals. I mean, I still give Classic the edge. Classic still has the greater army, still has the larger army with 2 Immortals, but the second Immortal's about to pop out. Adepts, they do go back in, and Classic is out of position. Classic, he's across the map. He cannot defend. Recall's on cooldown. Uh-oh. Recall's on cooldown. That's Narcos's pylon. Will depower everything, but thankfully another pylon does finish up just in time. Classic once again going for the pylon, but this time he's going to be deflected. Remember, it's 2 versus 2 in regards to Immortals. Here, he's called back up. He's going for the final pylon. He's going for the final pylon. Classic going back into the main. Ooh, Stalkers, they get caught out. Massive catch. Massive pickup. You know, Classic going for the pylon. Does depower the gateways once again. But so are his, right? No one has any gateways. No one has any production powered. Oh, the prison! The prison does siege. Powers up the gateways. He's got some warp-ins. Does have some warp-ins. Nice force fields, but again, the prism is here to juggle. And we have the counter force field to zone away the army. Ooh. You know, Classic has repowered his gateways. And Classic with 3 Immortals, he might just overwhelm. Yeah, he has too much. Classic has too much with 3 Immortals. And here he'll take a bad fight. We'll lose almost everything. And is that game? Is that game then and there? herO, he still cannot get into the main. He's trying. Here come extra warp-ins, extra force fields. Again, hero's down to 1 Immortal. Boys are being pulled. Second Immortal has arrived. He's got his 2 Immortals. So many probes are going down. herO, he breaks out. Oh, he still doesn't break it. Quick reaction at Classic. And Classic looks like he has too much. Yeah, it looks like he has too much here. Takes out the shield battery. herO is microing his heart out, but he has lost every probe. Across the map, he's also in the main base, also wreaking havoc. But Classic has the army. He can always recall if need be. It's 3 versus 3. Ooh, 3 versus 2. 2v2 even. Okay. The armies are getting close. Adepts are still in the main. There's a recall back home. And herO, he has 0 workers, but at the same time, the armies are close. The armies are very close. Shades away. He triggered the shields. But Classic has an economy, and he warps in. If it wasn't for the economy, if it wasn't for the warp in, then herO could still take this. I mean, he still could. It's close. It's quite close. He does warp in. Takes out 1. Yeah, I guess one of the Immortals is 1 left. 1 Immortal left for Classic. He's juggling his heart out. herO, can he get it? Can he get it? He goes for the sentry. Ooh, he will lose 1 of his own. Yeah, he'll lose 1 of his own Immortals down to 1 versus 1. But the last Classic, he has the Adept, he has the Sentry as well. Shield battery's finishing up. Classic, he holds. And Classic, he does hold on. And again, he has extra warp-ins. That was close. But GG gets called. Classic, he will survive. He will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. Classic does take the game, does take the lead in the series. They get a very intense back and forth. There were moments with both players, of course. herO, he was able to force the recall a couple of times, able to force back the army, but overall it was brutal seeing herO lose so many workers defensively, getting caught with his pants down. He never really regained his economy. He never really could afford a larger army either, as he lost every single worker multiple times even. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. Oh my god, what were the vetoes? Game 2 is going to be on Last Fantasy for the first time in today's broadcast. Let's go. Checking the vetoes here, Torches was vetoed, Persephone, Ultralove, and Incorporeal. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Interesting setup. And again, we'll see. We'll see which of our two takes the lead. We'll see if herO can tie the series. We'll see if Classic can extend his lead as we are loading into Last Fantasy. Insane game, yes. Expect more of the same here. Again, as I mentioned at the start of the game, at the start of the series, it is rare to ever see herO and Classic ever enter the mid game. So we don't really expect it. We don't really expect any kind of mid game between these two players. We expect hyper aggression and non-stop all-ins on 1 or 2 bases from both sides. That's typically how these two face off against each other. So let's go. We're ready for it. We are ready for it. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, or right hand side of Last Fantasy, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the El Pollito. We might have to remake El Pollo Loco. We left him behind. Who's the whoever's the party lead can actually let the players know, because right now they can't see any of this chat. I mean, if he's casting with Dave Tessa, then Dave can always share a screen, which is what we used to do. Fun fact, I used to, if like either me or Yak would ever be left out of a game, we just share each other's screen and on Discord and cast from there. But here we go. In the top, on the right side of Last Fantasy, we do have our South Green Protoss, the red Protoss. So for Twisted Minds, it is a herO. And on the top side, we have the blue Protoss player. For Virtus Pro, it is Classic. Who's in, by the way? Everyone else. Well, here we go. Also, a big shout out to Chicken Man. Chicken Man, he's one of the organizers of this tournament. Chicken Man, alongside Dave Tessa, together, they did create this event. They had the initiative to create the KSL. Exclamation mark KSL in the chat to get a link to the Patreon. I got you covered. Bam. All of the Korean StarCraft League as well. Oh, we're proxying right next to each other. We're proxying right next to each other. Great minds think alike. And as we mentioned at the start of the series, at the start of this game as well, again, we expect non-stop all-ins. We expect non-stop all-ins between these two players, and we are proxying right next to each other. Spider-Man meme it up. Let's go. Will they actually see each other when the building's finished? The rovers, because remember, buildings have, they will extend their vision. They will extend the vision, extend the range, depending on where they're placed. This robo, I think the pylon's a little bit too far away. So we're going proxy robo right next to each other. We have no idea. Second pylon for Classic, just in case. Both players, I believe, did scout each other. Yeah, Classic's in the main base. He sees that the pylon is missing. herO, he did not probe scout. So herO's playing blind. Oh wait, sorry, my apologies. The other way around, my apologies. herO scouts. herO sees that that's why there's a second pylon for herO. So herO, he knows that there's a proxy. Classic, he goes for a delayed scout. Now he confirms that the tech is missing. So a bit of a later scout for Classic. herO, meanwhile, is aware. Somewhat aware. Yeah, Zerobo does complete. And they don't see, they don't see each other. Let's go. Meanwhile, we do see a delayed Immortal here, actually going for the Prism first is herO. This means that herO, he might lose these pylons. The Immortal is gonna pop. And Classic, he's rallied home. No, he's rallied home instead. He doesn't see. Otherwise, he could start working on those pylons. And that could have been game. That could have been game, but we do see... Oh, wait, sorry. God, I have it reversed, kind of. herO was proxying here. Classic on the other side. I thought it was the other. I thought the robots belonged to the opposing player. My apologies. Oh no. All these Protoss players look the same. But yes, here he does rally in. He does focus on the first pylon. Depowers the gateways. Classic, meanwhile, getting into the main with the prism, but he has no immortal of his own. The boys are being pulled. Nice target find out of herO. He does focus on one of the stalkers. He gets one. He should get the other as well. One more volley. Does get it, but he will lose the immortal. Oh, and was that worth it? He'll lose the first immortal, but there we go. Second immortal has arrived, and he will make sure that everything stays depowered. Takes down the pylon. Sentry does warp in, but too little too late. The army gets in. And he does once again focus on that stalker. One more volley. Stalker goes down. Now going for the adept. Sorry, now going for the sentry. And herO, he's done it. herO, he has done it. 0 production remaining here for Classic. But he does race back home with his own immortal. Okay, does race back home. There's the recall. Oh my god, doesn't recall in time. Immortal goes down. And where exactly are we? Okay, so herO, most of his army was back at home defending, but now he can move out now that the prism did go back home. So herO can... Oh, he finds it! herO finds a proxy. Classic had no idea. Classic, he had no idea. herO, he finds the proxy. Let's go. Gets one of the pylons. And we'll go for the other as well. Oof. Yeah, nice control. GG gets called as Classic will lose all of his production, and herO ties up the series at 1-1. Whew, GG. I also do apologize just because there was so much happening at once. I didn't actually have the score in game, but yes, we're tied up 1-1. And this time we'll have El Pollito with us. This time we'll have Old Mate Chicken Man. Let's go. Chicken Man will join us here for game number 3. But yes, we are tied up 1-1. GG, well played. Now we're going all the way to game number 3. Again, a very chaotic setup here initially on Last Fantasy, proxying right next to each other and not finding each other until the very end. Of course, herO was able to find that. And now we're getting into our next game. I'm getting into Pylon. Let's go. We're getting into Pylon here. The neighbors. Yes, yes. Oh, no. We're getting into game 3. It's going to be on Pylon here. We'll see who takes the lead in the series. Who takes the lead? Marvelous. Ugh. As Pylon is known for aggression as well. Pylon has a short rush distance by ground, so is known for aggression. This applies to all matchups, so we're expecting to see some more one-base play coming into Pylon as well. Let's go. But who proxies? Who proxies? Who doesn't? Do we go for another double proxy in the center of the map right next to each other? Where are we headed? Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Tying up the series 1-1, it is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss himself, also from South Korea, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. Players are setting up. Whew. And again, we'll see if we do proxy that second pylon once again. So now we have our initial standard openers that we expect. Gateways have been thrown down. Likewise, we'll see if any of our players does cut any corners on pylon. I doubt it. I doubt we're going to be seeing anyone cutting any corners and taking any big chances and big risks on a map as small as this. Gases are being taken. Something that we could even see as well, as we're going for 2 gate openers all around, something that we could even see as well is we could even see one base all in from back at home not being proxied. There we go, second gateway gets thrown down, and herO, he's not going for the second gateway. This is risky. This is crazy. On Pylon of all maps, herO is going gate cyber expand. This is a very greedy build out of herO. As you can see here, yeah, he's skipping the second gateway. So herO, because he skips the second gateway, the goal here is a faster Nexus or faster tech. But regardless, like, this is a very greedy start out of herO. Classic, thankfully for herO, no probe scout. The delayed probe scout out of Classic, so he cannot react with an all-in too quickly. Not react with a proxy, unless he's just going for it right in the middle. Show us what you got. He's just scouting. Scouts a third location. Yeah, you can see he's scouting the left-hand side as well. Classic does not probe scout, so herO, so far, he is getting away with this. So far, so good. Cybercore is done. Shows the Stargate. There it is. Stargate opener out of herO into the expander. This is the Max Packs opener. Gate, Cybercore, Stargate on 2 gases into a Nexus. And Classic is more concerned about scouting, scouting for a proxy more so than scouting his opponent. We can see herO also checking for proxy Stargates. herO also didn't probe scout, so no one probe scouted. I should say, no one probe scouted each other's main base. No one went for it. Both players checking for proxies. Robo opener out of Classic. Classic will poke in, and he will confirm. Yeah, he sees the timing of the Nexus. And Classic, he has a choice to make. Either he expands himself, plays from behind economically, or he turns this into a 1-base all-in. He's got 2 gates so far. We're waiting for another pair of gateways. Based on the probe trajectory here. Yep, there it is. Extra gateways, 1-base all-in. Let's go. And we spoke about this specifically on Pylon. Because the map is so small, you can do this. So you don't need a proxy. You can just all in from back at home. herO does shoot first. herO zoning Classic away. We have a 3-gate setup so far. We're expecting a 4th gateway. herO will chase Classic down. At least try to. Classic is up to 4 Stalkers. He will overwhelm. At the same time, herO behind this, going for a Void Ray back at home. Going for a defensive Void Ray. Hallucination does confirm the extra gateway. Sorry, not Hallucination. The Oracle itself confirms the extra gateway. It does get 6 probes. Oh my god. 6 probes go down. Nice damage here from herO. He cripples the economy. And here comes the warp in. herO, he has to pull back. Thankfully, does have a shield battery. Void Ray. Ooh. Does threaten the warp prism. And Classic is going to be delayed as reinforcements are over on the right-hand side. Oracle almost goes back in. herO does pull away in time. He does pull back. But Classic, he may have enough here. He has 9 Stalkers. Again, only on 3 gates, not on 4. May have enough. The shield batteries are finishing up. herO is getting up to 3 shield batteries. A second Void Ray has arrived. Doesn't waste his prismatic alignment. He's still holding on to it. Again, you don't want to activate prismatic alignment unless your opponent commits into you, because it does slow down the Void Ray. Not built to chase. Gets 2 more probes. Nice damage. herO is getting further ahead. Remember, herO has a base. Remember, Classic is 1-base all-in. Classic has to end this soon. Now up to 11 Stalkers. Yeah, there's that prismatic alignment. Here he does activate both at once, which is a little bit scary. It tells me that he won't have one available for the next dive. But I say that there's going to be one here with a fresh Void Ray. So he'll have 1 prismatic alignment. Still very intense. Oh, he can 2-shot. Takes down the first Void Ray. Takes down 1, but only the 1. This here is building on more Stalkers, building on more Void Rays. Does pull away in time. Nice control. There's prismatic alignment. Loses another Void Ray. Down to 2. That's a lot of Stalkers going down. Oof. Once again, nice control. Void Rays, they do pull back. One of them will survive, the other goes down, but you can see Classic will lose everything. And herO holds. herO, he holds, he shuts this down. GG gets called, and herO, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. He will take a 2-1 lead and 1 game away from claiming the series and becoming this week's champion. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. We'll see if Classic can recover. We'll see what map we're going to be loading into, more importantly. Here we go. But again, it was so crucial that herO was able to slow down the economy of Classic with the Oracle. Remember, he got like 6 probes across the map, 6 to 8 workers even across the map as well, crippling his opponent, delaying any kind of warp-ins. Likewise, we saw that he was able to build up his Void Ray count. He had some very nice control, preserving the Void Rays, pulling them back, building them over time. And again, the longer the game went on, the worse it was for Classic. He was on a timer. GG, well played. herO doing his best Max Packs impression there. True. But now we're getting into our next game. And game number 4 is going to be on Tokamak. Okay, Tokamak is a larger map, but because it's so large, it means that there are more places to proxy. There are more places to proxy, and there's a higher chance that Classic commits to an actual proxy this time. The map is larger, so players are going to be... herO is going to be tempted to go for the same build. He's going to be tempted to cut corners and to go for a greedier build instead. Okay. Here we go. We're getting into the next game. We're getting into Tokamak, and we'll see how this story ends. Ooh, again, I'm hoping for an ace match, regardless of how this goes away of Classic or herO. I want to see a game 5, Fappy. Let's go. Do we ever get 2 base versus 2 base? Do we ever get there? Oh boy. Do both players ever expand in this series? This would be the map for it. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Leading the series 2-1, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. We go. Oh. So we are here, we have arrived, we are back. And we'll see how our players do approach this. Again, last game we saw herO go for a Gate Cyber Stargate into expansion, just a greedier build out of herO. Classic responded with a 1 base all in from back at home, not proxied. This time, do we move out? What's the plan? Oh. Okay, here he does deviate. If you saw that there, here he set up on the left-hand side. There it is, second probe. Second probe is being sent here towards the left-hand location, just outside of the main base of Classic. This looks like a proxy Stargate. As you wouldn't proxy a robo here. You would not proxy a robo. There it is, here comes the probe. Here comes the proxy. Meanwhile, oh my god, gee, Classic! I mentioned how hero's going to be tempted to go for a greedy build again. Classic, he went Gate Expand. That is a Nexus before Cybercore. This is insanely greedy. If herO went for a proxy robo, he could just end the game. But again, this location is more designed for a Stargate, which is designed to give herO an economic lead, not to go for an all-in. But this is just a hyper greed out of Classic. It's his turn to be the greedier player. His turn to be the defender. So here comes the Stargate. My assumption. It is. Stargate's on the way. Adepts are rallying out. We do see a defensive Stargate here for Classic, but hero's going to hit first. He's going to hit hard. Meanwhile, Classic, he does probe scout. He does recognize, he does see that a pylon is missing, so he knows that something is wrong. Could be real, could be fake, could be a proxy robo, 1 base all in, could not be. It's on Classic to prepare. But if he doesn't get a safety shield battery in the mineral line, that he will be losing probes. Yeah, you can see here, shield battery in the low ground. So he doesn't, like, again, obviously he doesn't know what's happening, and he's getting ready for a proxy. He's getting ready for aggression at the natural. Probe goes down. And he does open Oracle. Adepts are going to be threatening a shade. Uh-oh, he's going to get in. He's going to get in. That should not have happened. Oh, actually gets into the natural. We'll go for these workers here. He's keeping the Stalker at the natural as well, intentionally so. Gets 2, gets 3 probes. More Adepts are coming in, and here comes the Oracle. And that one Stalker is stuck on the low ground, or stuck in between the bases. There we go. Here comes the Oracle into the main. Probe's going to be going down. They're going to be pulled away. Adepts, they come in from behind as well. They catch the transferring workers. Yeah, probes are falling left and right. Classic just being pulled apart here. 8 probes going down. And he's not done. Adepts a shade into the main. Just the one makes it in. Just the one gets another probe. But across the map, ooh, brutal pylon block. Oh no! Brutal pylon block here, as we do see herO expanding at the unnatural location. Again, because herO had no defensive weapons, he could not deal with this pylon, so it just stayed up. It just stayed up. So nice move by Classic. Again, despite Classic losing so many workers, Classic is still only behind by 2. And he still has that natural up and running. Meanwhile, does one shot, he will lose the Oracle. Yeah, he throws it away. It's going to be 7 probes going down. At this point, it looks like it's too late to recall. Tries to get the hell out of here. There's a recall. It's going to be close. Up. Oh my god, barely does recall home. Does recall back, and we do see 24 versus 18 here. And hero's not stopping. Yeah, he's not done. He's not done. He shades back in once again. Ooh, bit of miscontrol though. He was on A move. As a result, he won't lose. He won't kill as many probes, but that's still a decent amount of damage here. 3 probe kills, and he does deny mining time. So damage is still being done. Oh, here he runs into the Phoenix. Bit of miscontrol. Here he has to calm down. So calm down, has to pull away. The Oracle goes back in. Here is still doing more economic damage. Gets 2 more. Can we get 3? Can we get 4? Jeez, 4 for 5. Oh my god. I thought 4 at most. He gets up to 7. 7 more probe kills. herO has a massive economic lead. And with that, what can he do? He's going for the Robo. He's taking up. Cancels that initial Phoenix. Or that follow-up Phoenix. Behind this, all he has to do is just make sure he has a defense against the Oracles. So shield batteries in each of the bases. There we go. Shield battery in the main base. There we go. Shield battery at the natural as well. Here he's set up. He's moving out to try to catch out these units as well. There's a recall. Yeah, clutch move here by Classic. Was aware. Does recall out of there. Was aware that his arm was in danger, I should say. Oof. Lose one of his sentries. And we can see Classic attempting to stabilize, but herO has a massive lead. Like, he still has a massive lead from here. He can get a faster third. herO, he can macro. Hey, for the first time this series, both players have 2 bases, but coming into this, herO has a brutal lead, so I would assume that Classic's going to turn this into a 2-base all-in. I would assume that he has to all-in from here, just because he's so far behind. Stage trap into the main. herO does react. Ooh, better stasis towards the end. Very nice. Yeah, here he had too much faith in that Phoenix. So he pulled back too soon. Nice shield batteries here. Nice movement out of herO. So he defends, he shuts down the aggression. Classic, how many gateways are we on so far? Only 2 gates, or 2 gateways. Prism moves out. Yep, here comes Classic. Again, it's all or nothing for Classic. His army gets spotted. Classic is pushing. But herO, he has plenty to defend. He's up in Immortals, he's up in Stalkers, he's down in Sentries, I suppose. Oh. Okay. Classic going for the force field. I can get behind this. He's going for the main, and does go for the force field. There it is. But here he's got adepts. Yeah, he does have adepts. He's trying to rotate over. He does juggle over the wall. Diving on the main army. Nice control here. He will lose the Immortal. Bit of miscontrol there out of herO. Robo gets depowered. The army does respond. And herO should hold. Yeah, he will hold. He just has overwhelming numbers. He shuts down the main army. forces back the all-in behind this Classic attempt to expand. But Classic was so committed. GG gets called, the aggression fails, and herO will snowball out of control. He will take the series 3-1. herO will be this week's Korean StarCraft League champion. GG. GG, well played, herO. He will claim it again. herO going for the proxy Stargate, and not just that, but going for the Oracle and Adept Aggression. He pulled Classic apart. Classic, he went for the greediest build possible, winding it back. As a reminder, what did Classic do? He went Gate Expand. Gateway straight into Nexus before the Cyber Core, before the second Gateway, before any tech. This is arguably the greediest build you can go for in PvP, and herO, he was able to punish. He was able to punish him with that proxy. If you remember, Classic, unfortunately, he misread. Or, I should say, he was getting ready for a proxy robo. Remember, Classic probe scouted, and he saw the pylon was missing. So he made a gamble. It was either, okay, the pylon is missing, either it's a fake, it's proxy Stargate, proxy robo, or proxy gateway. It's going to be one of the four, and he assumed it was going to be ground-based aggression or a fake out. He took a chance, took a gamble. He got a shield battery on the low ground, not in the main base. He didn't scout, so he didn't know what was happening. Happened to be proxy Stargate, which happened to be the one thing he was not ready for, and that did pull him apart, did tear him apart. GG, well played. With that, herO does claim the series and is our champion. Congratulations to herO. Shout out to Classic because he did make for a very fun series. Technically, our players did get up to 2 bases when it comes to their saturation, kind of, but Classic, he did go for a 2-base all-in. He had to, right? He had to. Yes, he was expanding towards the end of the game, but he had to do more damage than what he dealt. That was game. That was game then and there. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I just want Classic to make 3 nexus. I mean, technically, he threw one down. Technically. Yes, GG, well played. Congratulations. herO will be our champion. Again, herO, he typically is. I think he's won like 95% of the KSLs that he signed up for. There's one KSL that he played in that he didn't win. That was like 3 weeks ago, I want to say, where herO did not win. That was in the lead up to EWC, but here he is back on top. So congratulations to herO, and once again a big shout out to Chicken Man and Dave Testa, exclamation mark KSL in the chat. Chicken Man and Dave Testa, they do run this tournament, they do host this event on a bi-weekly basis, and there is a Patreon, so if you want to help support Korean StarCraft, you can do so via the link in the chat via Patreon, as the KSL does have its own Patreon channel. We'll link it in Twitch and YouTube chat as well. Is this the final series, the finale? Yes, yes, the finale. Finale. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. When it comes to our next broadcast on the channel, we got you covered. We got you covered here. Bam, as we head on over to our schedule. We just casted KSL. That was here Saturday morning. Saturday morning, we did just cover KSL. As you can see, this evening we have the C Duckling Open, the SDO. That is our monthly amateur tournament. That is a tournament for players between the leagues of Bronze and Diamond. So, hey, if you're watching the chat, or if you're watching right now, if you're tuning in, and if you happen to be between the leagues of Bronze and Diamond, and if you want to start competing, if you want to step into the ring and play amongst other players that are around your skill level, then you can do so by playing in our monthly tournament in the C Duckling Open. Again, it is more for amateur players. What I will say, just as a heads up, if you're thinking about it and if you haven't played before, we do have requirements, of course. We do have ladder game requirements, just so that your MMR is reflective of your skill level, just to, you know, weed out anyone trying to smurf or anyone trying to get in which otherwise doesn't belong. It does negatively impact players that are maybe watching for the first time, that want to play, that maybe haven't played in a long time and don't have any games. So this is also an incentive to ladder, to ladder to get your games in and to actually take part. But yes, we do have SDO. That's going to be this evening. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup. That's going to be Sunday evening. And I did just get an update yesterday. It says here that there's going to be a K Cup Sunday morning. That is not the case. K Cup has been cancelled. For those that are curious, what is K Cup? K Cup is Kanoya Cup. Kanoya is a French caster, and he's been streaming and casting a lot as of late. But recently, and had planned to run a league. So I say run a league, run a tournament series of like an American K-Cup and a European K-Cup and a Korean K-Cup as well. He's already hosted a couple in the past that we casted, but recently some things did occur IRL, and he is going to be canceling the upcoming K-Cups. So that is, we're going to have to remove that. So that is not the case there. We don't have a morning cast for Sunday. Instead, SDO into STC. Duckling Open into the Sparkling Tuna Cup. So those are going to be our next 2 broadcasts for this week. When it comes to the remainder of the month, Uthermal's 2v2 circuit is going to be this month. We're going to be organizing that event. We're going to be adminning. We're not going to be casting, but we will be working behind the scenes with Uthermal, with Estemark, with Mark Slappy. Likewise, we also have the StarCraft Evolution League that is going to be later on in August. So that's going to be another big league, another big tournament that's happening. Likewise, we have RSL. RSL qualifiers are this month, and Season 2 is September. So the Revival StarCraft League is also right around the corner as well. There's a lot of StarCraft, a lot of content going on. We should be able to cast at least once a day, every single day. But as I mentioned before, especially after EWC, we do want to take it easy. Like I do want to get some sleep and get some rest, catch up on work, catch up on editing VODs, scheduling VODs, especially after EWC week. I did fall behind because I was just focusing on sleeping and casting. So there's a lot of work to catch up on. So we're going to be taking it a little bit easy when it comes to casting, at least initially here coming into the off season. Also, if you missed out, I do recommend checking out our YouTube channel. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis, and we did host our podcast on Thursday. And there was a lot to discuss in regards to EWC and the future of StarCraft and the future of balanced patches as well. There was quite a lengthy discussion there during the podcast. So I recommend tuning in to be caught up to date with what is currently going on in StarCraft. So do recommend our podcast. Again, that is over on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys later on tonight for SDO. I won't be casting that. I admin SDO. I do work behind the scenes on that instead. Kuro is going to be casting Duckling Open, so you can tune in tonight for SDO or tomorrow for Tuna Cup. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.
herO.